It's that time of year. The air is getting crisp. The experience bonuses are in place. Thinly veiled seasonal trappings have been added into the in-game stores to encourage you to spend some money on your favorite MMO. The annual rush to get the Headless Horseman mount in World of Warcraft is now underway. It's Halloween in MMOs. And with the holiday, I've come across a few different new and old Halloween events that should be mentioned. I've always loved Halloween events because they add in that little extra layer of spooky into the MMOs that we love to play. It's a special time of year for me when this is my favorite holiday, and has been since I was a little kid. I will always remember the moment that I went into Everquest 2 and got to experience firsthand just how cool and exciting that Instance Haunted House was. For me, this is a time of year when you really get to kind of experience things that are different in game and often tied to the lore of the game. So I really want to give you my top 5 Halloween events for 2022. The Shadow of the Mad King event will return for fans of Guild Wars 2. It will run from October 18th to November 9th. So plenty of time to get in all the ghoulish goodies from ArenaNet's buy-to-play MMO. Decorated festivals will appear in-game outside each race's capital city, where you'll be able to find festival merchants and foreboding portals to the Mad Realm. Some, but not all of the festivities include the Mad King's Labyrinth, which reminds me of that beautiful maze in Everquest 2 I experienced so many years ago. With the inclusion of mounts over the last several years, a race has also been added to the labyrinth, and it will occur every 20 minutes. The Mad King's clock tower stands above the cowering masses, providing a jump puzzle for any who dare give it a try. Given my experience with Jump King, I think I'll give it a pass. Now, despite playing Guild Wars 2 for a long time when it first launched, I never really got to experience the Mad King's Labyrinth. I did plenty of other things in the game, but for some reason I just never did this, probably because I went back to Everquest 2 every time a Halloween event came out. So this is one of those events that I really want to test out this year. And speaking of my beloved Everquest and Everquest 2, for a long time I always lamented that the original Everquest appeared lacking when compared to the sequel when it came to seasonal events. And while that may still be the case, it's gotten a little closer over the years. In both games, this event is referred to as the Knights of the Dead, and they offer special quests and holiday decor. Quick note here that some quests for the event will not be available on all progression servers depending on where you are in your expansion unlock. Running from October 12th to November 8th, Knights of the Dead in the original EverQuest features heavily around, well, quests. Quests have been added for about nearly the last 17 years to this game, with rewards ranging from temporary food items to the Scarecrow Mercenary contract. New quests this year add to the extensive catalog already available. But one of the coolest rewards for me is the Bone Mask of Horror, which has a skeleton illusion, so if you haven't been able to grab an Amulet of Necropotence, this is another way to shed that pesky flesh suit and amble around in the bare bones like you always wanted to. It's a series of 5 quests, and I've linked down below to Fanra's page on how to get that mask among other items. In addition to the quests, spooky hats will be dropping all throughout the world during the event, so as long as you have the Heroes Forge feature, you'll be able to don them. Now we move over to the sequel, EverQuest 2. You have a myriad of activities to take part in and a wealth of rewards, including new rewards this year. Housing items galore will fill your generous inventory space. I still remember getting my ghoulish night cloak years ago. It's very much in the spirit of the holiday and it looks damn good, and that's kind of what you can expect from EverQuest 2. The masks are fantastic too. I mean, who doesn't want to run around look like an oddly proportioned goblin? They even have a visual representation of me trying to read the script for this video and how many times I messed up in each take. There are a variety of quests to take part in, just for fun illusions, titles to be earned, and much more, but the highlight for me will always be the instances. The Haunted Mansion and Hedge Hollow. These are tied to quests in Loping Plains and Nectulos Forest on the beach, so if you play EverQuest 2, I highly recommend giving both of these a try. If you are familiar with Nectropos Castle in EverQuest 2, that's a year-round haunted house. Now we move to the largest MMO out there currently. Hallow's End is a spooky holiday based on the very lore of World of Warcraft. celebrating when the Forsaken broke away from the Scourge. What better way to celebrate this momentous event than with trick-or-treating? Hallow's End runs from October 18th to November 1st. The headline of this event for years has been the Headless Horseman encounter, which you can queue up for as soon as the event is live. Aside from the boss loot, which is just a series of rings, you will also be able to earn loot-filled pumpkins, which could give you a sword, a helmet, a cute little battle pet, or if you're lucky, the horseman's own mount, which happens to be a flying mount as well. Additionally, you can collect currency called Tricky Treats from quests. Of the items you could use this currency for, you can purchase heirloom armor casings, temporary exquisite costume sets, so you can be the likes of Deathwing or Arthas, but honestly, aren't we all just going directly for that horse head costume? Not to be overshadowed by the behemoth that is Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV has the All Saints Wake, running from October 19th to November 1st. To be part of the quest, you'll travel to the Adventurers Guild in Old Gridania and accept the quest A Mad Masquerade, which will provide you with a quest and dungeon. You'll be able to collect pumpkin cookies for glamours and housing items. The dungeon sounds interesting, as while it's a reskin of an older dungeon, not unlike most Halloween events honestly, it offers some unique mechanics to banish ghosts and save people, alongside your usual telegraphs and food consumption. Essentially, it's a fun diversion that can give you some cool annual items. For 2022, there's also a new location to take photos, including some gigantic jack-o'-lanterns. And for anyone unfamiliar, Final Fantasy XIV has a pretty in-depth screenshot mode that can get you some really great shots. Rounding out our top 5 is Lord of the Rings Online. What's the Halloween adjacent holiday in Middle-earth? Harvest Math. And I'm probably mispronouncing that, because it really sounds like something I would have avoided in college. It begins on October 12th and runs through November 2nd. Similar to Everquest, there are quests, lots and lots of quests. And stop me if you've heard this before, but there will be a currency used to buy special reward items. There are masks, emotes, consumables, housing items, cosmetic weapons, etc. Honestly, there were so many items available, it was a bit overwhelming to research. The Haunted Burrow, only available during the Harvest Festival and originally introduced back in 2020, looks awesome, and it's one of the events I'm targeting this year. It's a virtual haunted house in Middle-earth. What's not to love? My brief explorations of the festival so far have shown it's not lacking in the usual atmosphere I've come to expect from Lord of the Rings. This game does a great job of transporting you with its music and lighting. But the quests at times can seem a little intrusive. Quest markers over everyone's heads just is kind of immersion breaking and distracting. Now, I know I said that there was going to be 5 on here, and I even kind of broke that a little bit by including Everquest 1 and 2 as a single game, which they're not. They're 2 games. So we're already at 6. But how about a bonus? How about New World? New World will be hosting the Night Vale Hallow event. I wanted to highlight this one because it actually involves a world boss, Balfazu. It's all pretty straightforward, which should probably be expected for such an early in its lifespan MMO. You get the quest to throw Ichor from Balfazu into the Night Vale Cauldron, and I probably said all of that wrong, but you have no idea how many times I tried to say that, and it just came out like, I don't know, like I could not get those words to work with my mouth. Like it did not function. Ichor. I don't know, correct me down in the comments section. How do you pronounce the name? How do you pronounce Ichor? I read things in my head, and I'm realizing as I have to speak them out loud to you all as a content creator, just how bad I am at a lot of these things. So how do you do this? Well, you go kill the world boss. You throw its gross guts into the cauldron, get your coins and a weapon pattern. I wasn't able to find a date for this event just yet, which is also why I dumped it down here as a bonus. But I've included a helpful guide from newworldfans.com down in the description if you want to test it out, because the boss does have a lot of different mechanics going on, and even ads and things like that. So check it out down below. What's your favorite Halloween themed event? What MMO do you really think does this well? Both tying it into the lore itself of the game, making a new event, while also kind of just giving that little bit of interest tied to our real world celebrations. Let me know down in the comment section below, and if you want to, you can even click this little like button that's right here. And since we talked about New World, did you know that they have a new expansion coming? That can be found right over here. You know, if you click this video right here, then you'll find out all you need to know about the upcoming expansion for New World and see if it's going to be worth your time, because that's coming this month too. My name is Redbeard Flynn. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Let's see, can I do this?